Grade 5 boys had their moment in the spotlight on Monday, May 21st. In 2005, the Naramata Community Fund Society brought back the concept of a soapbox race, and the 2007 event had some special guests. The 10 grade 5 boys who raced down a one-block stretch of Ellis Avenue had a chance to meet the Hancock brothers. Ernest, Brian, and Bob put Naramata on the soapbox racing map in the late 1950s, winning Western Canadian titles and traveling to the international event in Akron, Ohio.
It was in 1957 we got started in the basement, and I guess there must have been 10 or 15 kids in Soapbox Derby, and Jack Buckley, Naramata Garage, got everything going and organized, and we've all built our first set of boxes 1957.
Some of them were built in the garage, actually, and we also used the Syndicate House. That was probably a couple of years later, and then some of the boys managed to do a lot of their work on their own and build them with their own houses. But the most fun of it all was the group function, building them all together, and the traveling to the different races that we did all over the valley. And then, of course, the big event was at Mission down at Vancouver, where everybody went down on the July 1st weekend, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was July 1st weekend. The races we had before that were at Vernon, and Asuyas, Oliver, Naramata. I don't think we ever had one in Penticton, but those were a lot of fun. Naramata started out in the middle of Robinson Avenue, in front of what was the Danifer House, I recall, near Wiseman Place. And there was a proper ramp built with a slope and synchronized starting gates, so everybody started off equally, and we raced down to the Naramata store, which was Dudley's store in those days. And we stopped, and if we didn't, we hit bales of hay at the bottom.
Whereas these races today, they had good little set of brakes on them. I mean, those guys could stop them. They were a little scary watching them steer down the hill, though. They were a little shaky. But things have really progressed back into soapboxing again. These are real soapboxes. But to see these guys in their little bugs, they're great. That's what it's supposed to be, having fun. And grade 5 kids, to them, that was the biggest event of their day, just to drive that down the hill. Because you can't do that they're not street legal, you know.
Since 1923, Naramata has celebrated May Day on Victoria Day Monday. The ancient tradition provides a greeting to spring and assurance of agricultural fertility. We're proud of the fact that we are one of few communities that carry on this tradition.
Good morning, Naramata citizens, guests, and families. For those of you who I have not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Nadia Iannoni. I am honored to be this year's 84th May Queen of Naramata. Living in Naramata is amazing. We are so lucky to have a small village full of friendly people, beautiful traditions, beaches, first-class wineries, and a beautiful heritage hotel. Why would anyone want to live anywhere else?
At the Centennial May Day, the crowd of spectators were in for a special treat following the children's dance. Naramata was teeming with past residents during the homecoming weekend, and anyone who has ever danced the Maypole in the past was invited to join the dance once again.
Oh, sure, I danced the Maypole for years. Yes. And on their 70th anniversary of May Day, we old timers got around there and danced the Maypole. Nearly killed us, but we did it. That was fun.
And we had invited some of the old royalty to come up and say hello. And special recognition to Gertie Hancock this year because she's been involved in our community for many years and taught at the school. In the 40s, taught my mother, and probably, I'm not sure about my father, but definitely my mother. And she kind of started, I think, what the kids do now as far as the Maypole dancing goes. I think she was the one that started the tradition of the songs and things that they dance to, and it was her version, I think, of the dances that they do now that we're still doing today. So just kind of neat to recognize her.